Please take your seats. Hello, and welcome to the Subcommittee on Early Childhood and Innovation. We are going to go a little out of order today, and we're going to start with HB 258 Delegate Simons. Oh, I'm sorry, really quickly, could we take attendance? Could the clerk open the roll for attendance? All right, we have a quorum. All right, Delegate Simons.
Good morning. Good morning, Madam Chair. I am very excited about this bill. I have been working in this space for many years, trying to support and grow small home-based childcare providers. The reason is that Virginia is facing a serious childcare shortage. 8 out of 10 Virginia employers say childcare challenges make it harder to hire and retain workers, and we currently face a statewide shortage of at least 140,000 childcare slots. So as I have been working on these small home-based childcare issues for the last 6 years, I have introduced a number of bills focused on increasing their number, safety, and quality. Under current law, these providers are called family day homes, which refers to these small childcare programs operated out of someone's home. But as I've tried to explain these issues, I've found it surprisingly difficult to explain what a family day home is. Last year, I ran into this problem speaking at a nursing home. I kept talking about my bills on family day homes, and people in the audience had no idea what I meant or what I was working on. Home-based, the term home-based childcare is much clearer, more modern, and better reflects what these providers actually do. This bill makes a simple, common-sense update to our code that improves understanding and reduces confusion, which will support the growth of safe, small-scale childcare options that families can rely on. It's a simple bill. It just changes the terminology in the code so that we're communicating more clearly. I hope it will be the will of the committee to act favorably on the bill, and I'm happy to take any questions from the committee.
Thank you, Delegate Simons. Do we have any questions from the committee? Delegate Cousins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just have just one question, one point of clarification. So it just looks like on lines 729, starting there, we struck the definition for family day home, and now that is the same definition that we're using for home-based childcare. So no differences between the two.
Is that a separate bill, or are you saying that's in this bill?
It's in this bill. So maybe that's a question for Ryan.
We'll go to the attorney.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair and Delegate Cousins. Yeah, that's exactly right. So no substantive difference in the definitions. It's purely the terminology update.
Thank you. Delegate Cousins, a follow-up, or are you good? Okay. Any other questions from the committee? All right. Since we have no questions, let's go to testimony. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of the bill, for the bill? Is there anyone here? We're going to go to online testimony in a moment. Is there anyone here to speak against the bill? All right. Well, we have someone online. Let me go to that. Do we have them ready? All right. We're going to go with Ms. Grace Reef. We'll go ahead and unmute, and you can go first.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes. Good morning.
Okay. My name is Grace Reef, and I am speaking on behalf of Child Care Aware of Virginia. We are a statewide nonprofit that supports families to find childcare and works with childcare providers to become licensed and offer high-quality care. Child Care Aware of Virginia fully supports HB 258. legislation to modify the name of family day homes to home-based childcare. This is a simple bill. It's logical, it's common sense. It updates the Virginia Code from archaic terms of the past. The term home-based childcare better reflects what is actually happening on the ground. Childcare is a business. Some childcare programs are operated in a center and some are operated in a home. But why do we call these childcare businesses family day homes? I mean, home-based care is really flexible. It's not just a day home. Often, it's the only care available for parents who work shift work, like nurses or first responders, or maybe in the military, who also need non-traditional hour care. Therefore, family day homes aren't really accurately titled. This care might be at night or at least early evening hours. It's time to call childcare programs that operate in a home just what they are: home-based childcare. It's a small change, but a respectful one that better reflects the important work that these people do. Thank you for your time today. Please support this legislation.
Thank you so much. And I believe that was the only person online for this bill. Are there any further comments or questions from the committee members?
Move to report, Madam Chair.
We have a motion and a second to report. All right, will the clerk open the roll? All right, on a vote of 9-0, this bill reports, HB 258. Thank you, Delegate Simons.
Thank you, committee.
Great. All right, we're going to go at ease for just a second. Bring this meeting back to order, and we are going to do, work on HB 254. It's going to be presented by Delegate Glass. Delegate Glass.
One. There we go. Well, gratitude. Come on. There we go. Gratitude, Madam Chair and members of the committee. I want you all to sort of walk with me for a minute as I present this bill. Imagine a mother, and we'll, for the sake of argument, call her Tiffany, right? Tiffany has got 2 kids under 5. She is working full-time. She is even pulling an extra half a shift just to make sure that she can keep food on the table. And quite frankly, Tiffany is not asking for any handouts. She is just looking for handholds so that she can have something steady for her so she can climb the ladder steadily. Tiffany is getting child care assistance. This is not abnormal for folks. It is not perfect, but it keeps her working, it keeps her kids learning, it keeps them safe, and it keeps them fed. She then gets a $2 raise. And let me say that again. She does everything right. She gets a $2 raise. She works hard. She gets recognized. She gets a raise. And with that little bump of income, she is cut off from her subsidy, from her assistance. No warning, no cushion, and just like that, she now cannot afford childcare. This is what we call the benefits cliff. And that cliff doesn't just drop families into financial hardship, it penalizes them for making progress. I think we have to ask ourselves with this bill is what kind of system punishes people for doing better? What kind of support says, here's help, but please do not try and get ahead? It's not a safety net. It becomes ultimately a trap for them. Essentially, what we've done for folks like Tiffany is put them on a life sentence to a subsidy. And I'm gonna say that again, a life sentence to a subsidy. Now, this is the 3rd year that I brought the concept of this bill to the General Assembly. Initially, we were trying to do a dynamic benefits calculator to look at all of the benefits that we have control over in the Commonwealth to see how we can stair-step folks off of these subsidies if they want to. And we've narrowed the scope down to probably one of the most important subsidies that we have, the child care subsidy, so we can at least start looking at how we can do this. So House Bill 254, which affectionately is the No Cliff for Kids because of the folks that we had working with us, and I want to thank a partner for kids, the food bank, as well as Goodwill. This aims to change that. It creates a phased reduction model for child care assistance. So instead of cutting folks off cold, it steadily adjusts benefits as their income raises. Now, if you did not get a chance to read the bill, I definitely want to give it to you, no spin, no nothing, line by line, right from the text. So from lines 16 to 21, that just creates the phase out. Lines 22 to 32 lets the Department of Education decide how these benefits shrink with no more than a 10% reduction step down. Line 27 makes sure that families, if they need to appeal for hardship, that they can appeal by line 23, 33, and 40. That's where we're building those exceptions in for hardships or disability should those happen with families. And at the end on line 41, we're just making sure that Virginia is aligned with federal law, with the Board of Education leading the charge. This is leading the charge. It's shifting us from an all or nothing mentality because all of you have a constituent like Tiffany in your district who is having to choose between taking a raise in childcare or taking a new job in SNAP. This phase reduction program is going to be the difference between survival and sustainability. And I want to be honest that this isn't just about the Tiffany's of the world. It's about our workforce, right? We have our economy and more importantly, our children. How can we, the people in power, show up for families who are trying to break cycles? Here's the kicker, I think, as a person that sits where, or a person that sits in policymaking, is that for a very long time, we have been fighting the narrative for folks that use government assistance, where we have certain factions of leaders calling them lazy, calling them folks that just don't want to get ahead, that just don't want to do better. But we, in this position of power, have built a system that keeps them stuck. So if we don't pass this bill, we are sustaining that system. You can't climb a ladder that is rigged to collapse as soon as you take your first step. So the cost of this bill, which is on, I hope you all got the one-pager, it's not simply funding a program or widening the gap of the funding. It's really about shifting our mindset about how we look at government assistance. So as you prepare to vote, I want you to think about the Tiffany's in your district. Think about every Virginian who's done everything right and still got left behind, having to choose voluntary impoverishment. We have to build policy that believes in our people just as much as they believe in themselves. This bill will will allow our public assistance program to not have opportunity behind a locked door. That choice is all you all's. I thank you for the time, Madam Chair, and I'm here for any questions.
Thank you, Delegate Glass. I did have a question. Would you describe this as like a sliding scale that you're asking the Department of Ed to implement? So this program's already in existence, and all we're doing, all this bill would do would be to create a sliding scale, in effect, to come off of the subsidy, not off of it, but being comparable to what the pay is. And this is asking the Department of Ed to figure that out. Is that accurate?
Madam Chair, I would say precisely right. So if a person like Tiffany got that $2 raise, we trust the Department of Education to look at what the standards are for how much they should compress that benefit should they get a raise. We're saying no more than 10% at a time, but they will determine what those thresholds are to say, you got $2, you took a $2 raise, or you got a new job, we're gonna lower your subsidy by this much, whatever that may be, but they would be able to determine those standards. So we're walking them off of the assistance program.
Thank you. Questions from the committee? Delegate Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't have a question. I just want to comment on the bill as someone who would be a Tiffany several years ago and got a pay raise from a job that I had had after a year and losing my SNAP benefits for myself and my children. I really appreciate the patron bringing this bill forward, and I'm very grateful for that. So I just wanted to comment that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the committee? All right. Do we have anyone here to speak on behalf of the bill? Please come forward. I know there's so many of you, but we're going to limit it to 5 minutes total, so let's not talk forever. All right, go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair and members of the committee. My name is Bjorn Coxwell. I'm the Government Relations Manager at 4Kids. We operate a nonprofit down in Southampton Roads doing frontline work for people, and specifically children living in poverty. I apologize, I'm really tall. We also operate an economic mobility program, and we're helping women get out of that cycle of poverty, right? So one of the things that our coaches told us is the number one thing that they end up working with these women on isn't personal budgeting, but navigating the benefits cliff. So our hypothetical Tiffany's are every single person are in our alumni program, or in our economic mobility program. Our alumni program, which is over 2,000 members strong, is governed by a board of 10 women. When I sat down and spoke to them, 10 out of 10 of those women had either quit a job or refused a raise because of the benefits cliff. These aren't hypotheticals. These are people that are really trying to move forward in life, and we've created a system that doesn't allow them to do that. This is all about the American dream. Our ability to live into that is our ability to fix our cliff effects within the system. I will stop there and let others speak, but thank you so much for your consideration of this bill, and thank you for Delegate Glass for championing this. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Chad Stewart with the Virginia Education Association. We strongly forward access bills to get children into high quality or just regular old child care, especially for low-income families. The research is very clear. The return on investment for getting children into these programs, keeping them there, especially when they're under threat of losing benefits because of a cliff effect, it's hard to explain what a good return on investment this is for improving K-12 outcomes, for improving behavioral outcomes and ability to do well in K-12 settings when they get there. This is very connected to our teachers and our school staff at the K-12 level, and we strongly support this bill.
Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the subcommittee. Rena Hicks with Freedom Virginia. Ditto everything Chad said. We strongly support the bill. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Thank you so much for patroning this bill, Delegate Glass. My name is Eva Colin. I am with the City of Richmond. We have a lot of Tiffany's in Richmond. This bill is strongly supported by the city as it helps reduce friction for our residents as they endeavor to build wealth, which is one of the missions of the City of Richmond. We're grateful for this opportunity, and we also want to note that in addition to early childhood, we have over 500 school-age children who leverage subsidy to be able to access after-school programs that ensure that their caregivers are able to work full days in traditional 9-to-5 jobs. So this has a significant impact not just for our littles, but also for our school-agers, and most importantly, their parents who are working so hard to build better lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Lauren Schmidt on behalf of the Virginia Partnership for Out of School Time. We support the bill. Just want to echo what was previously said. Working parents need safe, reliable places for their children to go while they're working, and we think this bill helps make that happen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, time to spare. Do we have anyone here to speak against the bill? All right, with no one online, does anybody on the committee have any other questions? Delegate Kent.
Madam Chair, move to report. Second.
Oh, this bill needs to go to appropriation, so let me give the patron really quickly, and I'll come back to you, Delegate Kent, the last word if no one has any other questions. Delegate Glass, go ahead.
Just gratitude for your patience on waiting on me to get down here, number one. And number two, as we sort of talk about early childhood learning, today is Lego Day at the Capitol. And there's nothing like having and seeing children be able to be in these types of programs and learn to use their imagination and learn to keep their curiosity. So I hope y'all play with some Legos today. And I pray appropriations lets this through if you all do too. Gratitude.
So let me go back to the original Delegate Kent. It would need to go, the motion would need to be to report and refer to appropriations. The recommendation would be to report to appropriations. Is that the motion, Delegate Kent? Yes, ma'am. Do we have a second? All right. No further comment. All right. Let's go ahead. The clerk will open the roll. A unanimous vote of 10-0. We will be reporting and referring to appropriations. Thank you, Delegate.
Gratitude, Madam Chair and committee.
All right, we have another bill, an administrative, we need to administratively handle HB 211. We need to take by. Do we have a motion to take by for the day?
So moved. Second.
All right, and that is a voice vote. All in favor of taking HB 211 by for the day? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, we are taking HB 211 by for the day, and that concludes our committee meeting. We're adjourned.